This is a horribly dumb story that I'm telling. What was I talking about? Oh, so Bree, get out of the way. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Today is episode 88, and we're going to be talking about July finished objects, or object, because this has been my month of failure, and I've managed to finish one project this month, which I think is the first time that's ever happened. But I also want to point out that I've been able to do an episode every week for the last, year and a half? So I got something going for me. Anyway, I've never had, well, first of all, I've never had one project totally take over the entire month. I've never had that happen where just one project just frogged. Oh, maybe the VBAC tea. That one, not the last one we did, the first one we did that was on the Mad Toshiro sock that bled everywhere and changed color. That one I think we did a couple times. And there have been projects I've given up on before. I don't know why I did not give up on this dress. We're going to talk about it in a minute. What a horrible month this has been, work-wise, and I have nothing to show for it except for a crop top that took 8 hours. Anyway, absolutely no updates about my neighbor's dogs. I have seen them twice, and that was yesterday, and I only saw the big dog, and she was on a leash both times. Other than that, I have not seen the dogs for the entire week. I've not seen them at all. So, yay. Anyway, we had an extra button. So the two words Rippy knows is outside and bedroom. And not that she would ever ask to be put in the bedroom when we're out here. I don't think, well, she might ask me, but there's a door right in front of the bedroom. So if my husband wasn't working there, because he works from home and he has a desk right outside the bedroom, so the button's right there, so she just says hits the button, bedroom, and she gets put in the bedroom because that's her space that she likes. So I'm not sure that she would ever want to go in there if he wasn't right outside the door, you know what I mean? So, but we put it here, we put another one here just to get her used to having two buttons, because we're gonna have these are buildable, so you add more buttons, and we're going to have one in here because we're in here all the time. And then we're going to put one in the living room for when we're in the living room. So she will have two different boards to get used to, but I think she'll be fine. And there's going to be different words that she's going to need in there that she doesn't need in here, and vice versa. So, yeah, buttons. Okay, so shall we get started? I don't have a lot of time because I'm on a schedule feeding cats. Oh, we have decided that we're going to move. We're going to be moving. Did I mention this last week? We decided we're moving. Mostly because he needs a dedicated office space now that he'll be working from home for the foreseeable future. So he needs a dedicated office. Because right now he's just in the it's an open dining room kitchen area, and he needs his own space. So we decided we're going to do that, and I want to move. I want to get out of here, out of this city, and somewhere more private. Because I hate people, and I want to be alone in the woods. I'm trying to get us to cornfield land, and he's like, we need to have internet for my job. And I'm like, who cares? Corn. I just want a house hidden in the way, with a long driveway covered in trees, the scary house at the top of the street that nobody wants to go. That's the house I want to live in. Okay, so anyway, let's start whips. What are we starting with? Oh, summer lace top. Guys, I finally got the third row. Because I blocked this dress. That's the only time I work on this. And I have some serious doubts about this not using up all of the yarn I have. Because I just started the second ball. And I only got 3 repeats, right? So 1, 2, 3. And I have 2 more, so I'm wondering if I'm going to run out of yarn before I'm done. I'm not sure, but I was like trying to try this on and see how long it was going to be. Which is hard to tell because it's still open in the back. So I don't know how many rounds it's gonna need to. We're almost at my hips right now, so I guess whatever I end up with would be fine. I think I'm just gonna keep going. I was gonna put it in a bag and just let it languish, but I love how it's working. I just absolutely love how this looks. And I really want to have this done, so I am going to keep, I just decided just now with it on that I'm going to keep going because I love it. I really like it. I think it's going to look nice. Plus I'd like something to cover up when I go outside with the dogs. So this is still a whip. You just saved this from the languishing whips, which is where the knit dress is going. So, knit dress, guys. I got to, I don't have the, oh yes I do. I made it to row 88, I think. I think I'm 1 row before. So anyway, here's the dress. Probably should have put it on a dress form. It's very heavy. So here it's stocking out all the way down. And here you could see it's been blocked. So we have like a bit of pinwheel where I did the increases. You really can't even see them. So it does kind of go like this, like accordion fold kind, not like pleated, but it just folds when it hangs. The problem is I don't like how it lays on my body. I don't like how it hangs from my belly. I started, I think, as every woman does when they hit their 40s. I started to get a bit of a belly. I think it's hormonal. Where I tend to look like I'm newly pregnant. And I don't want to show you guys because it's embarrassing, but I feel like maybe I should because I don't want to feel gross about my body. But this seems to really, it's more of being a woman. I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys this. People like to comment on your body, and people especially like to comment on pregnant women's bodies. And they like to ask if you're pregnant, and they like to ask how far along you are and shit like that. And I would rather not have to deal with any of those comments, you know. So I think it goes without saying, don't ask a woman if she's pregnant. You're only allowed to say something if they say something. I just ignore it unless they say something. Like, oh, I've got, 4 weeks left. And then you're like, oh, great. Then you can comment. Never bring up a pregnancy. So I don't like how this hangs on me. And because I've made it to row 188, And it is a little too long at 188, so it's really heavy too. It's a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. So I am putting this in the bag, and it's going to sit until the spring because I'm so angry at it and I don't know what I want to do. And I love how it worked up. I love it looks like soot, like ashes or something, right? It's been crumpled in that bag, so I love how the colorway worked out. I think it worked out really, really cute. I think what I'm going to do is just up where I started the increases, just start the 6 ones, because I did increases here, 4s on each side until I got to a certain spot, and then I did 6. And I'm thinking of just starting it higher up, starting the 6s higher up, so when it gets to my belly, the part that I don't want to show, it might flow, but then see, I feel like even hiding it's just going to make me look fatter. It's not what I mean, because I'm not fat, I'm not overweight, I just have this big belly, and I don't know how to dress it. I don't know how to hide it. I don't know how to make it inconspicuous, so as to not draw attention to it, so people won't comment and congratulate me on my pregnancy. This is why I don't go anywhere. But I'm not comfortable wearing this dress. The way it hits my stomach is just not. It's not. I don't feel it's flattering, I guess. So I'm not sure what to do with it. I'm going to let it sit here and think about itself until the spring. And then in the spring, maybe we'll have a handle on whatever's wrong with me, because I am going to the doctor in 2 weeks. I have an appointment in 2 weeks. So I hope to have some idea of what's happening and what I can do for it. And because it is very painful, it's not like, I've had pain my whole life, so it's just getting worse and worse. So I'm hoping to have some idea, and maybe by the spring my body will have gone back to normal, or if this is the new normal, I'll be wearing maternity clothes forever. Don't know. If you guys have tips, because I've never had children. I've never been pregnant. I don't know how to deal with this type of situation. I don't know how to dress for this. I don't. You can see I'm not. I mean, I got a little. I hate that. And this, and you know what I did I was watching yesterday. I've been like, oh my God, I'm getting jowls. Because my grandmother, just is jowl city right here, guys. This is a genetic from the women from my mom's side. So I've been like beside myself, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm getting jowls. And I was watching a movie called Mother and Child, and Annette Bening was in it. And she's older now. Well, this was like 2009, I think the movie was. And she had the beginning of jowls, and it's Annette Bening. She's gorgeous. And I'm like, well, if Annette Bening can have jowls, I can have jowls. Like, I've just decided I'm not going to feel bad about it anymore, and I'm just not. The alternative is death. So either you get old or you die. So either one of those. So my third whip, well, actually, this is my second whip now, because I'll keep going with the summer lace top. The knit dress is just gonna get put away until the springtime, and I'll revisit it and see what I want to do with it, and then I'll be able to wear it, so it'll be great. This is this same yarn, so This is the cropped version. I've just started the full length version. I've just, a few rows of this cast on the back part. So this is the construction of the dress too. You start here. Well, you start with one of these. This one. Right side, I think you start with. I don't know, whichever one. And then you cut, and then you do the other one, and then you just work them together. And then cast on for the back. It's very, very easy. I love this pattern. It's so easy none of it's hard. So then I have 30. So these are 10. These each are 10. I mark the first stitch when I join the two fronts together. I mark that first round, so that gets this stitch marker. Then every 10 rows gets a round, because it's 30 or 30. I think it's 34 because this is the DK weight version. I think it's 34 rounds. Yeah. So I have 34 rounds. So I just hit 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm on row 16. So we have to go to 34. And then once we hit 34, we'll be here. And then we just start the ribbing all the way around. To just rib the whole until we're done, probably. Did I say how many? 124 rounds for the DK version. I do have that written down. 124 rounds. So usually I do count. I keep track of every 50 rounds. And then bind off after the 124th, assuming that I have it says 2 grams left for bind off. So if you wanted to use the whole thing, you could go until you have 2 grams left and then bind off. But we're not there yet. And I bind off, I do the ribbing on the bigger needle, because this ribbing back here is done on one size smaller. I do the ribbing on the bigger needle because I need the size for my belly. This show is all about my belly. I'm going to have to show it to you, I guess. I won't. I will spare you. So yeah, go to 2 rounds, and then when I bind off, or 120 till you have 2 grams left, I bind off with a one size bigger. So since these are being done in a 3/5, the bigger needle is a 3/5. So I would bind off Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off on size 4. I go up one size. For the full size, for the crops, I go up 2. So for the cropped, this is it. This is the end of the show. This is all I got. So I just started this yesterday. So we have a full top to go, 1.5 skeins. That's going to be the last cotton top I make for the summer. If you remember, I have 4 more cotton tops to make. I have 2 more in this base, and I have 2 in a Knitcrate. Actually, I think it's this month's Knitcrate. I have not gotten for this one. I'm trying to decide if I want this one. This is organic Pima cotton, which I have 2 skeins of this already. These are the colors for this month: pink, purple, and like a mint green. 275 yards in each 100 grams DK weights. There's a pink periwinkle. It says periwinkle purple, and then there is minty greens. The extra this week is a pen. Oh, There's a highlighter tip. Okay. I haven't made a top out of it yet. I have two, like I said, I have two. I might skip this crate. Because I'm not a fan of undyed yarn. I'm really not. And since it's cotton, I can't dye it. Acid dyes don't work on cotton yarn. They don't work on cellulose fibers. I think I was going between the pink and the green because I have one that's purple already. It's purple's like a bluey purple from another Knitcrate. And then I have one that is the same but grays. I probably should have brought them in here if I was going to show them to. Oh, well, I can go get them. I know exactly where they are. But they even show them worked up, so that's quite a bit of white. And I'm not like sure. Like, see this? I'm not going to put my boob up to the camera. Thank you. This is not even striped like that. It's almost marled. I would consider this marled. Here, I'll take the skein out and show it to you. This is what the yarn looks like. So it's marled. Kind of. It's kind of the same thing. And this is not my favorite, because it's got the undyed in it. So I think I just talked myself out of this month too. So I was gonna, but now I don't think I am. But if you like the organic Pima cotton and you like undyed, I would for sure get yourself one of these. The base is really, really soft. I have not made a top out of it yet. I did make the top out of the Cotton, the Knit Picks Cotton, and I really liked that, and that was not as soft as this. But I think it would make a good top. But now that we're looking at fall, next week's episode is dye project, which I'm starting on tonight. I'm going to solar dye tomorrow because it's going to be like 90 degrees. So I'm going to try to solar dye that alpaca and see what happens. The week after that is planning fall projects. So since I'm already in fall, August is my first fall month, and like nothing I'm doing this month is fall related. I'm doing my last cotton top. The reason I'm doing the cotton top now is because I have it left over because I did this one, and then I don't want to leave this till spring. I want to get this done and get it out of the way, and then I'll start. So I've in the planning fall, I'll show you what tops I'm planning to make. I'm trying to think of what else I'm making for fall. I haven't really gone through. I have there's going to be some sweaters. I think a pair of long shorts to wear under stuff. Maybe. I'm not sure. But sweaters, yeah, for sure. Sweaters and these tops. And that's my plan. So what am I talking about? You want to talk about this? So this. That is the cropped version of my tops. You can also make this out of the Girly Knits bra top that we've talked about. You just, because you start at the bottom, you'll just make your band. This band, well, this is in DK weight, so remember, I haven't told you how to do the DK weight version yet. Really, all you have to do is check your gauge for the worsted and make sure you just change the math for the worsted for that, or the change in your stitch counts and row counts. So for example, I don't know what my stitch count is, but you want these, let's say this is worsted and this is DK, you want this to be the same size on both, right? So if you have how big your worsted weight one is by how many inches it is. So remember mine was 32 and 32, 64 for the top. Then you would just work out how many inches 64 gets you, and then figure out how many inches you need to get, or how many stitches you need to get that same inches on DK. Also, don't forget the row gauge, because that's going to tell you how long your cup needs to be. So make sure, that's why this takes 30 rows to get to the bottom of the cup, and this takes 34 rows. So it's a 4-row difference for whatever my cup thing is. Does that make sense? I thought it would be more than that, but it's not. I don't know the difference of the 32. Okay, the worsted is 32 stitches, and my DK is 36 stitches. If you remember from the worsted weight version I told you, this is made the exact same way. It has the same 3-stitch I-cord, work to 15 inches, stretch to 15 inches. You work the cups the exact same way. You just go to 36 instead of 32. And then your backup stitches are different. Okay? But then you do the round is the exact, the rest of it's the same thing. So this, I said you work until 34 rounds. So it's the same. It's the same except for the stitch counts and row counts. It's all the exact same. Everything's the same. So, easy. It's all the same. Super easy. So, yeah, that's all. So that's all I did. But on this top, I did the ribbing for 30 rounds of ribbing, and then I bound off, which gave me less. I used more than 50 grams for this top. And I wanted to see how it's going to work with that, because, oh, okay. Like, how am it's right here. Finished. Crop DK knit top. Here, and then an arrow. So I used 55.21 grams for 30 ribbed rows. And I did this because the other ones that I have made in this base previously all had 30 rows. Okay? So I like how those ones fit. So I wanted to make sure that I made them the same. So if I made those ones with 30 ribbed rounds, right? Then that means I had enough left, and I know I had leftovers, which I never do. I never have leftovers. So I had leftover scraps of all 4 of those bases, because I used them to fix the tops that I hadn't made long enough, because this is before I had perfected, the fit. So I'm kind of worried, because I used 55 grams and these are only supposed to use 50 grams, that I might not have enough for this. But because I had leftovers last time, twice, on two different, okay, the first set I got was the Wee Violets and the Tiger Lily. That was one crate. And then like a year or so later, I got the other crate that was Mittens and Pine or something. So they've been 2 separate crates at 2 different times, and I had the same outcome. They both had 30 rounds of ribbing and then bound off, and then the other ones were made full and they're not too short. And I still have extra, because I had some of them did not end up the same. So Some of them needed these redone or parts of them fixed, so I fixed that so these would be long enough. One of them I think was way too short, so I had to add length to that one. So I think I might still have scraps because they went so long. I should have just used up all of it, but I don't know why I didn't. So I'm planning on using up all of this for this top one. Since I had leftovers and I made the other ones with 30 rounds, it should work out. It should, since it's the same base. It should have the same yarn. It should all work out. It should be fine. So anyway, I have 2 more full skeins of this base, 2 full skeins of the organic Pima cotton base that we will wait till the spring to do those ones. So we're just gonna, because summer's over for us now, we're looking ahead to fall, which is gonna start September. So actually, I don't think fall starts here till we just go right to winter at the end of November. We have like summer, and then it'll be 80 degrees, and then the next day it'll snow, and then boom, you're in winter. Like we don't have fall anymore. I forgot last year we did not have fall. I was like, why is it still 80 degrees? No, usually in October it starts getting really, really cold. So I should have 2 sweaters at least done. No, I don't have a sweater planned this week, do I? This month, do I? That might change, you guys, because you know what else? I tried to start the breakfast or the lunch at Tiffany's, and dear God, I really like top-down construction. I think it's really easy. And this one said it was top-down. It's not top-down. It's not top-down in the way that you think of when you think top-down, right? You think top-down. Easy. This one starts with a provisional at the spine. So the top of the neck here, the spine. It starts with a provisional cast on. And you work one way. And then you break your yarn. And then you pick up the provisional and you work the other way. And then you break the yarn. And then you start working, I guess, kind of short rows, picking up stitches as you go, and that makes the top. I don't know, I don't understand, and there's no pictures, so I'm also on the fence of making this top right now, and let me tell you why. Because number one is it's August and this is like my time to start making stuff for when it's going to be cold. And I'm not sure if I'm advanced enough to do this or if my head is clear enough to do this right now. With everything that's going on, I've been really, really stressed. And like yesterday, I was in I said, I can't get out of this brain fog. I feel like I can't. My brain fog's so bad I can't focus on anything. So I think I'm actually going to not do the lunch at Tiffany's, save that for the springtime too, which maybe after making some sweaters, either I'll know better what to do or I'll have an alternative to do it, because what I'm really wanting to do is some V-neck sweaters, and that will get me closer to what that is, because that's like a wrap, almost. It crosses over. It's V-neck, but it crosses over into one, and then it's worked as one. It's joined somehow. So I think I'm going to put something else there. What I'm going to put there, I don't yet know. I'm thinking knit, and I'm thinking, because the only sweater I've finished has been the On the Beach by Isabel Kramer. So I've made one sweater. It is called On the Beach by Isabel Kramer, like I said, because I know the one sweater I've done. Now it's made with a 5mm, and it is on It's made with sport yarn. So it's supposed to be airy, like for summery stuff. But I did it in worsted on a 4 because I got gauge. I get gauge by going down 2 sizes and using 2 size thicker yarn. Isn't that ridiculous? This is why I'm saying stuff never works out for me. So I'm thinking of, because this took me 4.2 skeins, for me a sweater's quantity is 5. So I know I have some sweater quantities of this, and I'm thinking of making this, but making it in the bigger size, because I made the extra small and it is tight in some places. I don't wear this sweater because it's not comfortable. I do have it on my list to redo at a bigger size. You think I should just ball this one? I'm not sure where my extras are, where my leftover skein is for this. But I do like the sweater, so I'm thinking, you think we should repurpose this this yarn? Because I've already made this sweater. I know it fits well. It's just black. You can't see anything. It fits me a little too tightly in the shoulders, or in the armpits. I think that's where it's uncomfortable. But see, as I made it, you can see top down, and you don't have to finish the V-neck at all. You can just leave it like it is. So I did the sleeves first before I finished the body, and I didn't know how sleeves should fit at that point. But I did make this very, very tight, skin tight, which is how I like to wear stuff. But now I'm thinking, if I do the same thing and just make it a size up, it should be fine, right? It should be okay. Okay. I'm going to start that because I've been thinking I wanted to remake that sweater again since I was able to make it. Because once I have that and it fits the way I want, then I know from working on these, I can change it to any size I want, to any gauge I want. And I know how to grade that for my size. Like I know how to go, okay, if you need this many rows, then you need this many rows for this. I know how to do that. So I'm thinking of doing that, of maybe I'll repurpose, maybe I'll just take that whole thing out. I don't know though, because I'd also like to have it as like a, I did write all my notes. I kept extensive notes for that thing, but I think it would be helpful to have the finished item. That actually, you know what? I should probably reblock it first. I should reblock it and try it back on because I'm not sure I blocked it very well. After this, I'm going to actually find it and try it on. I know I don't need to find it. I know exactly where it is. But it would be helpful to have the finished item to refer back to and not be frogged. But I'm not sure I have to... I'm not sure that I have, I have to go through my sweater quantities of yarn and see what I have. And also, if that works, if I get that to fit, I can do a cropped cardi just by not joining. Remember we did that cropped cardi, but I didn't like how it sat. It was like 290s. So like if I get that to fit me everywhere, I can do a cropped cardi, which is what I also really, really want to do. I don't think I frogged that either. I think that's still waiting to be, I think I didn't want to frog it before so I would know that that was the yarn I needed. But I'm not sure where that is. So anyway, those are the things I'm thinking of. If I can get, I'll see if I have some other yarn to use before we undo all of that. What do you think? I think I want to start a sweater this month. Okay, so I'm going to, lunch at Tiffany's is going to, everything's cotton is going to be pushed. I'm just going to finish this and the lace top. Everything else is going to get put off until next spring. We'll just wait. Because I'll have more knowledge by then, and maybe I might have an alternative way to make that top that isn't that ridiculous start that makes no sense in my head. But I will say, this Isabel Kramer sweater on the beach has contiguous sleeves. It doesn't have raglan sleeves. It has contiguous sleeves, which I don't mind. They fit my arm fine. My problem is that I didn't know how much arm stuff I needed. And when you change a pattern, when you change your gauge that much, because you're changing the fit too, because that's written to be in a loose style and I'm making it a tight style. So of course it wouldn't fit the same. But that wasn't what I was going for anyway. And it fit fine, except for, from what I remember, I got tried on. But anyway, that will give us two things that we're trying to do, the half a cardi and just a plain black v-neck sweater. That's all I want, plain black v-neck sweater. Because once I have that, I can change it. Like I have so many yarns that I'm ready to, I just need a basic one that fits me, and then I can change it to anything. I can change it to bulky. I can change it to DK sport fingering. I can change it to everything. My only problem is I'm not sure I understand how the contiguous sleeves work. So I'm not sure I can change that for each. God, it's got to be the way it works, right? I couldn't find a regular raglan that fit me. But, okay. Let's say I make this one with the contiguous sleeve. And I get the stitch counts I need for chest, waist, and everything. Armhole, arms. If I have all of that, then I can make my own raglan. See? Okay. We're going to redo the On the Beach. I'm going to probably use a different yarn. Don't know what yarns I have. That's my plan right this second, okay? We're going to use the On the Beach. We're going to make that in worsted in a size up. That should get rid of my problems. 2 sizes? 1 size? Once I used 4.5 grams, so I know going up 1 size, I'll get under 500 grams, right? I used 4.2 skeins, so if I go up 1 size, I know I won't run out of yarn if I have five of them. Okay, I'm going to figure out what I'm doing, because that sounds like a great idea, and then for next month, maybe we'll do the cardi. Maybe we'll do half a cardi. Maybe we'll do the half a cardi. And with our raglan idea, with our raglan numbers from whatever we get from the contiguous sleeve one. Do you like raglan sleeves better than a drop sleeve? Because the drop sleeve kind of like, right, it comes down and then you just pick up for armholes. Is it like a pickup, do they short row it here? Do they do something? I'm just not sure how that would work, because if you can't, you'd work that way, right? Would your sleeve be weird? Because you don't have it over the, I don't know. What kind of sleeve do you prefer in your sweaters? Could you answer me that? Maybe. Nobody ever answers any of my questions. Even though I've only finished one item this month, I hope you will forgive me, because I worked really hard at that dress. Completely forgot about the lace top. But I have done an episode every week for you guys, so no one cares. I'm just trying to say, I've never missed an episode, so that's got to count for something. That's got to count for me finishing one item, right? I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. Okay, so next week, dye project. I told you we're doing solar dyeing. which I'll take pictures of, and those will be on my Instagram for when next week's episode. I'm not going to take pictures of that dress. It's just going to go away, and you'll see it in like 6 months or whatever, whenever the sun comes back. Next week on Dye Project, the week after that, we'll be planning for fall, which now I got a better handle on. So next week you should see, I should have some sort of sweater started as a whip, and we'll see what's happening with that. Okay, I'm getting out of here. I gotta feed cats. So take care of yourselves. I will see you next week. Goodbye.